Hello and welcome to the Virginia Assembly. My name is Lorrayne Ham, and this is your de jure lawful governance on Virginia. We are an unincorporated body, and that's what de jure means. Welcome to our informational tidbits. And today we have Bradley Odell. He is our moderator. He is the coordinator on Virginia. And Stephen Just, he is our militia commander. And take her away, men.
Thanks, Lorrayne. Steve, good to see you. Thanks for being here today.
Well, thanks for having me, Brad.
Question one, there's a lot of uncertainty related to the word militia. Can you explain the militia to us?
Sure. Everyone is a militia already. And what do I mean by that? God created people and gave the people their natural rights, which includes the right to defend ourselves and protect others. God gives these authorities to the people. So the people do not get their authority from any constitution, but from God and common law. The people, called militia, they're the same. So when we say the people, we're really saying we the militia. So how do we become a militia? Well, according to the laws of nature, you're born into it. You were born into militia by the very nature of self-protection and protection of others. Years ago, people used to rely on friends, neighbors, communities for support and assistance. The people got lazy and selfish. So the corporate government stepped in and offered benefits, which obligates you to the corporate governments. The militia pertaining to our unincorporated governance is stepping forward saying, we the people, we will step in and help you, our neighbors, without any obligation or payback from you. It's what we're supposed to do in the first place. So an organized militia is a group of volunteered state nationals on the land and soil of the state or the county who have stepped up to serve the people and protect the people. So the people are already individually militia. An organized militia that is truly serving the people are willing to work together to support and defend the people and their property.
That sounds like we all should be doing it anyways, but there's a stigma around the militia being violent. Can you expand on this?
Yeah, a good point, and I'm glad you brought that up. The militia serves several functions. In this day and age or time and age, it boils down to 1, in service of other people. 2, to protect our common law and the people's rights. For example, the freedom of speech, the right to bear arms. And 3 is the call to arms if a situation arises.
Can you break each one of those down for us, Steve?
Yeah, sure. So the first one, in the service of others, we've already mentioned it. We're to help the poor, the disabled, the children, the elderly, etc. What I see the primary responsibility is, or the militia's primary responsibility, is going to be during emergency situations or natural disasters. So we look at here in Virginia, we have some powerful storms, some flooding, some snowstorms, etc. The organized militia responds to these situations, such as road clearing and traffic control, transportation needs, provide medical support, food and water to those that need it, search and rescue for missing people, deter looting and provide security, remove trees from roads or on houses. We even go help others rebuild their houses or their roofs, things like that. So we check up on each other. We provide your traditional community services. And, so what we're really doing in that aspect is whenever an emergency or a situation comes up, we, the people, are out there saying, we're here to help you because that's what we're supposed to do.
Like what the National Guard or FEMA is supposed to do, right?
Well, exactly. I don't know if you know this or not, but the National Guard was the militia. All the corporate government did was create an organization and incorporated them into government's control. If you think what the National Guard does, then you understand the role of the militia.
I never knew that. What about number 2, protecting our rights?
Well, what we're seeing with these, let's look at some of these organized militias that are already out there. You see them getting a bad rap, and I'll tell you why. A couple of things. First of all, they haven't changed their political status to a state national. If they consider themselves U.S. citizens, which is a U.S. corporate citizen of Washington, D.C., they are actually against their own government and are considered insurrectionists. This is how these so-called governments look at it. You can revisit the jurisdiction broadcast that we did last week that shows you the differences between the U.S. and the USA and the U.S. citizen and a state national. The second thing is, as a state national on the land and soil of the United States of America, the de jure republic, what we're doing is we're defending our rights against these foreign governments. So it's the militia's responsibility to not allow these corporate governments to infringe on the rights per the Bill of Rights. The Bill of Rights, or the Declaration of Rights in Virginia, are amendments specifically stating in their corporate constitutions, which are service contracts, what the rights of the American people are and what rights these governments cannot infringe upon. Do some of these militias go too far? Maybe. But what they are doing is protecting the Americans' rights from the overreach of these foreign controlled corporations. Realize that these corporate entities will go to any length to shed bad light or discredit these groups of people who are standing up for your rights. If you look at law enforcement, local law enforcement is nothing more than corporate security policing their own employees, which are U.S. or municipal citizens. But the people don't know their history and everyone believes that they have authority over you. Now, if you look at the sheriffs are supposed to be peacekeepers, protecting the rights of the people and their property from these corporate statutes. Have you ever heard that these corporate statutes are repugnant to the Constitution? Right? That's what it means by that. So our goal is to protect the people's rights while we're operating under the Republic to protect the people from corporate overreach.
Yes, sir. And last one is number 3, call to arms.
Right, call to arms. That's what happened during the American Revolution. I just use that as an example. The people went out to protect their families and their communities from hostile takeover and invasion. Do I see that happening today? No, not really. But we always train for worst case scenarios. That's why the people, the militia, need to have and train with firearms. We need people to rely on if needed. One of my biggest concerns is if an attack occurs on American soil and a U.S. corporation invites UN peacekeepers into our country to provide security and control the American people. I know Kissinger back in the 90s, he said, if we created a situation in California where the people will give up some freedoms for securities, then they can bring in the UN peacekeepers. So this has been something that's been going on for decades, this thought process. Now, these foreign troops, they have no authority over the American people. That's the responsibility of the organized militia, is to provide security without controlling the people. So I believe the real reason for defunding the police effort is to bring in foreign troops, to control the American people, to take away more of their rights and freedoms for the sake of national security. I mean, that's what happened during 9/11.
Who gave the authority for the militia, Steve?
Well, first of all, it's given by God. God created man with unalienable rights. As God's creations, we the people have the right and responsibility to protect and defend ourselves from others. Unalienable means a power that cannot be taken. So I'm gonna reference some documents, but these documents, the people created the documents that I'm going to talk about. These documents did not create the militia, but rather describe its duties. So if we look at the Declaration of Independence from 1776, the Second Amendment, bearing arms, a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. You look at the Articles of Confederation, 1781, Article 11, every state shall always keep up a well-regulated and disciplined militia. The Constitution for the United States of America, 1787, that's the Republic. Article 1, Section 8, Clause 16, to provide for organizing, arming, and disciplining the militia. Article 2, Section 2, Clause 1, a well-regulated militia being necessary to secure the security of a free state. The right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. We keep hearing that over and over. So the militia of the several states are not only constitutional entities to execute the laws of the Union, but like the FBI, nor any other non-constitutional. Let me kind of say that again. The militia of the several states are the only constitutional entity to execute the laws of the Union, not the FBI, nor any other non-constitutional established corporate agency. Washington, D.C. is not part of the Union. It is not a state. People have to remember that. Even if we look at the Virginia Constitution, Article 1, the Bill of Rights in 1776, Section 13, the militia, that a well-regulated militia composed of the body of the people, trained to arms, is the proper, natural, and safe defense of a free state. Therefore, the right of the people to keep and bear arms, again, shall not be infringed. It was an excerpt from George Washington back in 1790. The plan was for the organization of the militia. An energetic national militia is to be regarded as the capital security for a free republic and not a standing army forming a distinct class of community. Now, if we go even further, the Virginia General Assembly, the Virginia Constitution, Article 1, Bill of Rights, Section 13, talks about the militia, standing armies, and military subordinate to civil powers. It says that a well-regulated militia composed of the body of the people, trained to arms, in the proper, natural, and safe defense of a free state. Therefore, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. That standing armies in time of peace should be avoided as dangerous to liberty. And that in all cases, military should be under strict subordination to and governed by the civil power. So what they're saying there is the militia is to exist at all times. The Constitution recognizes it as pre-existing. The structure empowers free Americans to govern themselves with full lawful authority and to provide themselves with security from any and all threats. It exists as a lawful check against rogue government officials who try to unconstantly expand their authority by violating the Constitution.
Awesome, Stephen. That was awesome. Thank you for providing that info. I think that'll be great for all the people to hear.
All right. Well, I mean, I think there's more that could go into it, and I like to be able to do some other podcasts and expand more upon the militia. I know people don't like to listen to things for, half hour, 45 minutes, so want to keep it short, but there's more information that we can discuss in the future about the militia.
Sounds like a plan.
Thank you both. If you have any questions about what you've heard today, you can email us through our website at thevirginiaassembly.land. the virginiaassembly.land. You can send us a message there. You can also find Steve Just's information, his email on the website, the Public Square page. And if you have any questions just about the assembly, you can contact Bradley Odell. We all have our contact information on that Public Square page, and we would love to hear from you. So consider your governance here, the Virginia Assembly, helping to educate you. Come back next time for our Education Bites.